There are places on Earth that slip quietly through the cracks of history. Towns once filled with laughter, tears, lives lived in simplicity and silence. Most fade slowly, buried under dust and time. But some vanish in an instant, not abandoned, not destroyed, erased. Doveland, Wisconsin, a name that should mean nothing, a place that shouldn't exist. And yet, it lingers in whispers, not on maps, not in records, but in memories people are no longer certain they can trust. This isn't just another ghost town. There are no ruins, no streets left behind, no broken windows to peek through. In Doveland's place stands nothing but forest, quiet, undisturbed, as if untouched by man. But it was real, or at least something was. And the deeper you look, the stranger it gets. There are postcards, home videos, road signs, stories from locals who swear they lived there, others who say they drove through it once and never saw it again, and one VHS tape, found in an attic in 2002, a tape that should have been impossible. Tonight, we dive into the story of a town that the world tried to forget, or maybe one that was forced to disappear. This is the tale of Doveland, a town with no population, no borders, and no past. And the chilling question that lies at its heart: what if you could erase a place and everyone in it so completely that not even memory survives intact? Stay with us. What you're about to hear may feel like fiction, but every fragment is drawn from the accounts of real people who remember something they were told to forget. This is not urban legend. This is not creepypasta. This is Doveland. Doveland first appeared in public consciousness, not through an official record or archive map, but from the desperate recollections of people who couldn't understand why no one believed them. One of the earliest mentions came from a woman in Madison, Wisconsin, who in 1998 wrote to her local newspaper about a town she had visited as a child. She described a quiet place nestled between dense trees, a diner that served the best cherry pie she had ever tasted, and a public library built entirely of red brick. Her letter was met with confusion. There was no such town. Others began to speak up. An elderly man claimed he once owned a general store in Doveland. He remembered the street names, the children who played outside after school, and the town's 4th of July fireworks, how they lit up the sky above Lake Menacet. Yet when asked for proof, he had none. His family had no memory of such a store. The lake did not exist on any map. There were photographs, blurry and old, showing nondescript houses and smiling families. The problem was none of them had addresses. The photo paper had strange timestamps, and when they were sent for analysis, the developers claimed they couldn't verify the negatives. Some reports even claimed that GPS devices would behave erratically when brought near the supposed location of Doveland. Coordinates that pointed to nothing but deep woods, no structures, no signs. And yet some hikers swore they found old trails, remnants of fencing, and in one disturbing case, what looked like the foundation of a schoolhouse. In 2003, a former truck driver recounted a strange memory during a podcast interview. He said he once delivered frozen goods to a small town called Doveland in the late 80s. He vividly recalled unloading boxes into a supermarket called Helmer's Market. But when he tried to locate the delivery records, his company had no documentation of any town by that name. These stories multiplied. From all walks of life, people came forward. Teachers, janitors, college students. They remembered parades, local festivals, a town slogan, where the stars sleep low. A few even sang a lullaby they claimed was taught in the local elementary school. The lyrics? Not found in any song archive. In 2011, a Reddit user uploaded a scanned image of a postcard. It read, "Greetings from Doveland, Wisconsin." The font matched that of classic mid-century cards, and the image showed a picturesque town square with a clock tower. But digital tracing found no match for the tower. No structure like it existed anywhere in the state. The most chilling accounts came from those who remembered family members vanishing after visiting Doveland. A teenager named Carly from Green Bay posted about her aunt and uncle who had gone camping in the 1970s. They were last seen heading toward the Doveland region. Their car was found abandoned. They were never heard from again. Skeptics argue that mass suggestion and internet myth-making created a fictional town, that once a seed is planted, memory becomes pliable, but others aren't so sure. Too many of the details align. The stories differ in tone and depth, but often reference the same streets, the same diner, the same lake. What if Dublin was real? What if it had been deliberately wiped off the map, not just physically, but psychologically? Theories began to spiral. Government relocation projects, experimental communities, even connections to Cold War mind control programs. But the one thing everyone agrees on is this. Something once stood in those woods, and someone went to great lengths to make sure it would be forgotten. In 2002, a family cleaning out their grandfather's attic in Baraboo, Wisconsin, stumbled upon a dusty cardboard box. Inside were old receipts, letters, faded photographs, and a VHS tape unmarked but for a small strip of masking tape labeled simply Doveland. They had no idea what it meant. The grandfather, recently deceased, had never spoken of such a place. But curiosity got the best of them. They found a functioning VHS player, slid the tape inside, and pressed play. What they saw would change their lives. The footage began with a static burst, then resolved into a handheld camera view. The quality was poor, grainy, but recognizable. It showed a small town, modest brick buildings, a gas station, a playground. Children were playing. Adults smiled and waved at the camera. In the background, a banner flapped gently in the wind, strung between two light poles. It read, "Welcome to Doveland Summer Festival, 1989. The camera panned to a parade passing through a tree-lined main street. Marching bands, homemade floats, crowds clapping. Then came interviews. A woman selling cotton candy. A boy showing off his painted face. All spoke casually, like any other day in small-town America. But there was one thing that disturbed the family most. They recognized someone. Their uncle, who had vanished in the late 80s. He had walked out his home one evening and was never seen again. Police found no leads. The case went cold. But there he was, on camera in Doveland, smiling, alive, shaken. They sent the footage to local authorities. The response? Silence. No investigation. No follow-up. One officer quietly told them the tape was being handled by federal agencies. Then the family went silent too. Online forums that discussed the tape noticed that their accounts went inactive. Attempts to contact them were unsuccessful. A few months later, the VHS was leaked online, an edited version. Experts tried to verify its authenticity. Some claimed it was an elaborate hoax. But no one could find the original tape. And no one could explain how a man officially listed as missing was captured on film, nearly a decade after his disappearance. The mystery deepened. In that same year, 2 more VHS tapes surfaced in estate sales across Wisconsin. Each contained different footage. One was a school recital, children singing the same lullaby others had mentioned online. The second showed what appeared to be a town meeting, where adults discussed budget cuts and a mysterious new safety ordinance. On the wall of the town hall, a plaque read, "Doveland, memory is a privilege." The chilling phrase sparked new theories. Was the town part of an experiment, a psychological operation, or something far darker? Whatever the truth, one fact remained. People remembered Doveland, and the VHS tapes were proof that, at some point in time, something resembling that town did exist. But someone didn't want us to remember. Someone wanted the footage gone, the witnesses quiet, and the records erased.